Very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadil Kabira for political conversations to build this country. As we progress with President William Ruto's administration, conversation for today is about the two teams that has been set. Kenya Kwanza, of course, earlier today coming up with their names. Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah will be leading this delegation. He's the majority leader of the National Assembly, together with Aaron Cheriot, Governor Cecily Mbarire, Hassan Omar, and Catherine Wambilianga are going to have talks together with the Azimio side that, of course, is being led by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, former Deputy President and Wiper leader. He'll be together with the Defense Cabinet Secretary, the former Eugene Wamalwa, National Assembly Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi, Malindi MP Amina Mnyanzi, and Nyamira Senator Okongo Omogeni. Prof, you look at this list before we talk about Kenya Kwanza. Let's talk about Azimio. How are you doing first?
I'm fine.
Let's talk about Azimio. Look, Kalonzo Musyoka is leading this team. Is this a formidable team compared to the one for the likes of Otinde Omolo, the one that was there for bipartisan talks?
Well, I think the one of bipartisan was a fairly good team. And even this one is good. It's only now things get complicated when you look at the other list now. Before the other list, the team was fairly okay.
The team is compact, but now,
but now with paired against the Kenya Kwanza team, I don't see discussions going on.
What do you mean discussions not going on? Or is it
with Kimani Ichung'wah, Cecily Mbarire, Hassan Omar, who else was there?
I think it's the Catherine Wambilianga and Aaron Cheriot.
Aaron Cheriot. So the only person there who can, maybe, I don't know, Wambilianga, Bungoma. I don't know about her. But on the point of Sida, the only person who looks like them is a Malindi lady, Mnyanzi. Is it she's called?
Mnyanzi.
Something like that.
Yes.
She's the only one who can heckle like Aaron Cheriot.
Do you need hecklers when it comes to these conversations?
Negotiations make use of all tactics. Yeah, including heckling.
I think
including stubborn fellows, having like Miguna on your side. Yeah, that's.
But I'm looking at.
This is negotiations are not easy.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking at Kalonzo Musyoka.
They can scatter you. Look, if it was just a serious discussion about looking for a settlement, can you get somebody better than Kalonzo? Almost the whole country. Maybe you'll have to look for Mudavadi a bit.
He has even done international conflict.
Yes, mediation. He's the right person. But when you see, it's like playing drafts, which is a poor man's version of chess. If you play against somebody who doesn't know, or even, he'll just mess everything.
Oh.
It's like getting Goldmaya to play with Manchester United. They just do. Even Man U don't know what to do.
So Kalonzo is in a place where the other team, not actually the other team, but all these...
They are relying more on hardline, pushing, and heckling. You know, when you are fielding your team, you consider many things. In football, sometimes you know the game is about you drawing, going draw. So you might choose to strengthen the defense. You just want 1 point, draw. Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes you know the people you are going to meet are from Cameroon, giants. So you might leave a better player like Kim here and look for another one, like this Masai guy. Although not as good as Kim, but he has a body.
Okay.
You see, sometimes you think this game would need to be a fast-paced game for this reason. So you look for dribblers and people can, a coach considers and a team manager, a lot of factors. So if you look at negotiations, what are Kenya Kwanza considering as premium? Hardliner positions, they are looking for that. They are looking for people who can shout, for people who can bang the table, for people who can walk out, for people who can heckle you when you are talking, to dismantle you. You know, all those are tactics.
When you look at,
you know me, I go to TV shows and all these things, I see them.
I'm looking at
Yeah.
Eugene Wamalo
Yes.
and Kalonzo.
Now imagine Eugene Wamalo and Kalonzo against Kimani Ichung'wah.
Do you think their stature may play a big role when it comes to this conversation? Because of course Kimani Ichung'wah is used to being the hardliner.
Yes.
He's used to playing rough, right?
And Cecily Mbarire is the same.
Cecily Mbarire too.
Hassan Omar is
But
the
then
same.
we have these other guys that are
Who?
well respected. Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalo.
That's why they'll want to demolish that. They want to bring you down to their level. And quite often they succeed. They want to take you from a gentleman's a game of football. They take it to rugby. A game of ruffians.
Then we'll see who'll stand.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this statement though. Kenya Kwanza coalition wishes to state the following: that honoring the request by former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo not to be mentioned in any public statement, we regret the lack of decency by Azimio in not respecting this request. Azimio at the very least should have the decency to abide by the 5 issues agreed at the meeting. Speaking of Obasanjo, he wasn't supposed to be mentioned. He wasn't supposed to be part of these talks. Do you agree with Kenya Kwanza if that was the agreement? Azimio has failed in this side.
I wouldn't understand why. I wouldn't know why Raila decided to mention. If they mentioned it,
Yes.
I wouldn't know why. But sometimes, under normal circumstances, it will be good not to. If that was the agreement, not to mention him.
But now, according to Kenya Kwanza, they've
But you see, Raila has also had so many issues with this side. They invite Suluhu Hassan from Tanzania. They disown her. You know, so sometimes you can't know what informed they are deciding to.
Is Azimio playing rough even before the game
I don't know.
starts?
Maybe they thought. I can't understand. Maybe they thought if we mention him, you can't withdraw. You'll have to face the table.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the world knows this is going on. Yeah. Because it's like these people, you say you are going to meet them, you are agreeing only for them to say no.
Or looking at Suluhu Hassan's
Yes.
case.
Yeah. So I don't think Raila at his level would know what is right and what's wrong.
We at least give him that.
Yeah.
Our position remains that no party to these negotiations can claim a right to determine for the other what to raise and not what to raise. This is according to Azimio's, statement. But Kenya Kwanza, of course, saying the issues remain about IEBC implementation of two-third gender rule, CDF entrenchment, and also embedment of the Office of Prime Cabinet Secretary, together with talks about the establishment of the Office of the Leader of the Opposition. When you look at these issues that this side is coming with, this other side saying we need the high cost of living table, how would you make them agree, at least first, on the issues to be discussed?
I will tell them what is important now is for people to sit down and talk. It's important. We know, and from history and the benefits of what we have seen in the recent years, negotiations across the world over different things, that these things are really not important. Because I've told you, people can raise issues where?
Yeah.
There was a famous one, I think, in Mobutu Sese Seko. They went to on a ship on water to negotiate. So history has shown those things are not important. They may pass some subtle information. If you came to my place, I suppose you coming to your place or a neutral place. Issues, this you shall not discuss. But recent history has shown that those things are not important. Because at the end of the day, what is important is for people to sit down to talk. Once they sit down to talk, you can say what you want. I say what I want. We put down. Some things we shall dismiss. Some things we can just start by saying, is Kenya a constitutional democracy? We agree, yes. Are we operating under the constitution? Yes. Do we have a validly elected president? And you see, if you say no, then these discussions are not going on.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I'm saying these guys, even Kenya Kwanza, why don't these people even consult somebody like Manyora? Some of these things, you just end them on the table. So if we agree we are a constitutional democracy, William Ruto is validly elected, because if you say no, then these discussions don't continue. That's the first condition. So now, if you have a constitutional democracy, there's a rule of law, and the Ruto is a validly elected president, then naturally, automatically, certain issues will be knocked off on that technicality.
Yeah.
So what is the problem? Why are you raising issues which can be knocked off during the discussion?
Yeah.
Because saying we shall talk about cost of living or economic situation in the country is not to say that the Raila side will dictate to the Ruto side what they ought to do about it. But they can take that opportunity to point out one or two things. And in any case, the success of these talks depends on the goodwill of the Kenyan people. Is that right?
Yeah, true.
So if you lock yourself in a room and you are discussing about Office of Prime Minister, official leader of opposition, IEBC, and this other nonsense you are bringing on the table, will you have the people of Kenya with you?
Entrenchment of CDF?
Yeah. You will have the people of Kenya with you? No, they are not with you. So what are you discussing? Are you discussing for yourselves? Then go ahead. But the people of Kenya can say you are doing it at our expense. They can come and demolish that sitting of yours.
And that's what I want.
So really, these guys are just wasting time. There is nothing you can discuss. And discussing an issue is not say we shall agree with your demands. Just we can discuss to show you, like I've shown you, that certain things may not be discussed in the manner you think. We can audit the elections. Again to Kenya Kwanza. Auditing the elections is not one thing like opening the server in which Raila was presenting it. No. We can say, okay, fine. Don't talk about servers. Let's talk about auditing of elections of 2022, which is a normal process anywhere in the world. Between us on this table, we know there is nowhere we shall open that server if it is a physical thing. Of course, it is not. And then declare Raila the winner. Because as we discuss, we also think about the public. Our arguments will amount to naught if the public is not happy.
And that's my question. What is the impact of public sentiment when it comes to these negotiations and moving forward? Because Mundia was on the street asking people, what do you think should be talked about? And everyone is just talking about cost of living. People don't really care whether there is office of the leader of the opposition, really. What is the impact of this public sentiment when it comes to this negos?
It is that you have to be sensitive to what the public is thinking. If you are not, you are wasting your time. If Raila and Ruto decide they can talk about their own things and leave the people out, it's good. They'll go ahead, they can form any government, they can share government, they can do what they want to do. But I will tell you this, so long as the people of this country are hungry and angry, we are not safe. We are not safe. A man just goes to a supermarket, there's a scaffold there, an ordinary scaffold, and things go haywire. Or like we saw in Eldoret, hawkers are being, not hawkers, I think they were disabled people or hawkers. They were being harassed, if you wish. And quickly there was looting in one supermarket in Eldoret. You remember that?
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Yes.
It can just happen like that. A normal incident in a supermarket. And there's a scaffold. And people take advantage of that. And they loot that one supermarket. And it spreads in Nairobi. All supermarkets are looted. Shops are looted. And you have lost your country. It's that easy. So what I kept saying, we must keep away those things that can make us lose our country. It's not difficult. So if you are discussing your own things and you are leaving the main thing, then you are doing a lot of disservice to this country and to yourself and to the people of this country.
Thinking about high cost of living, if you are asked why doesn't Ruto's side want to have this conversation, because it will probably not implement the policies that they'll put in place, but just talking about it, why do you think they don't want to talk about it?
They don't want to give credit. They don't want the other side to get political capital. Because already government is trying to do one or two small things about cost of living. So if discussions are going on and one of the items is cost of living, even if government in its own wisdom had decided to lower fertilizer to 2,500 and maybe maize flour to 150, people say, Raila ametufanyia. That's what the government is running from. It's as simple as that.
If they work,
politicians are very cheap fellows. They think very cheap and very simple. I mean, not simple. They think very cheap. And yet, that thinking can set the country on fire. Say, let us talk. Maybe there are things we are not seeing and we are seeing. We can explain to you why we are not doing this. You sure, what is it? That is a discussion to be held one morning, so not in a number of days. If they open they like opening with the prayers, pretending they are religious when they are all thieves.
Yeah.
You open with a prayer at 9 o'clock, and by the time you go for tea break, that issue has been resolved.
So it's more or less about political...
Because they all know why the prices of things are where they are. They all know what government can do to lower the price of electricity, the price of diesel and petrol. They all know what measures government can take to lower the price of maize flour from 200 to 140 or to 120. They know, all of them know. And they can agree not to agree, but it can take only 2 hours. So why not talk about it?
Political capital, you've said.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in into our conversation on what is happening in the country, dialogue between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. I hope you do know which side you want to have their issues raised, because for most people it's about high cost of living. Tell me whether other issues are important now, whether you think this conversation should be expanded to electoral issues in the future. Until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.